We are live and welcome to our wonderful conversation today with the absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, and amazing Jo Anne Irwin, who is one of our incredible hosts the Empowering You to Live Your Best Life tribe, which we will find out a little bit. But today we're here to get to know Jo.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Jo. Thank you for joining us. I'm excited. I want to get to know you a little bit more. And I have some questions, but what I'd like to start with before we go into all the other questions is tell us about Jo, like a little bit and anything that you'd like to share and how you got to where you are now. What
Wow.
guided you here?
How many hours have you got? It's been a long, long journey for me. And yeah, it's never ending learning too. I was thinking last night, all the things that I love, and it was actually quite a long list. And it's because I think because I'm so passionate about learning, always learning and growing and new things. And every week there's something new, and it's exciting because when you're learning, you can appreciate, what life has to offer and be able to support more from a place of heart, yeah, and compassion. And particularly when I hear or read, I like to listen to a lot of podcasts. And when I read or hear, other people's journeys and what they've gone through and all the adversity that they had to overcome, it puts everything in perspective. And I just love hearing those stories, and that turns me on, and it drives me actually to help more people in knowing that, whatever they are faced with, they too can overcome it. Okay, because when we're in it, we're stuck. And I remember being stuck so many times, through my marriage separation, and having 4 children on my own, and just navigating life, and all of that. You just feel like it's never gonna end at times. And just hearing these stories is a way for me to put everything in perspective and know that everything is temporary. So I'm a multifaceted person. I love so many things. Passionate about my family and my children. They're my number one. My grandchildren, my grandpuppies. I love my grandpuppies. I'm minding 3 of them this weekend. So I'm excited about that. And picking up my grandson this afternoon. I'm excited about that. So, all the little things, I absolutely love supporting women and seeing them rise and shine, seeing them, live their true purpose, who they were meant to be on this planet. And I'm really passionate about the planet itself and sustainability. I'm one of those people that will walk down the road, walk on my walk, or go to the beach and come back with a handful of rubbish,
Yes.
things like that. It doesn't take much, does it? Most people would walk past, I think, because my friends and family are shocked. They go, "What are you doing? You could get your hands all dirty." I was like, "Okay, you can wash your hands. It's all good." So yeah, the planet, human rights, right? Saving the children, empowering youth. I was a youth worker at one point, and it's still part of, what I love to do this today. Walking barefoot on the earth, being in nature. Yeah, just really all those simple things, the birds, the bees, the plants, the trees, part of a farm, that we grow food. I love organic food. I love health, well-being. Animals, cows. I love cows. I don't eat them because I love them so much. Just a little, I'm a bit quirky like that. And I have these conversations with my grandson. He goes, but Nanny, why don't you eat them? A 5-year-old trying to get his head around it, and he's a real carnivore. He's just like, he devours it. So, and it comes down to personal choice at the end of the day.
Does.
And choosing, explaining to him, well, we all choose what we like, what we want to, how we want to, be on the planet. And spirituality is a big, big part of that. Just through my, and interrupt me at any time you want to ask.
Okay.
I'm on a roll here.
You're on a roll, which is great.
Through my marriage breakdown when in the kids, I spent lots of time in an ashram, just meditating and, really going deep. I love going deep. I love to find answers. I'm a real seeker of truth, like inner and outer. But yeah, I just deep connected conversations like we're having, we have in the Sacred View community, like-minded people where we can really, we understand each other, because there's been a lot of times we felt very alone out there because we're a bit different. We have a different way of seeing things in the world and connection with God and spirit, angels, all of that, that a lot of people find that foreign, especially in the big cities. But yeah, so yeah, just really connecting with like-minded people and having those conversations that are not foreign, and that they get you. Yeah, so I'm very love the ocean. I love to swim in the ocean. It's just one of those things that feels cleansing for me, and getting my feet in the sand, between my toes, and laying under a pandemic, what do they call those big trees at the beach, and admiring the beauty that's around us, and actually just being aware of what is around us, because we can get so stuck in our heads. And I've been there. So it's a long journey of really getting to where I am. I started my journey like 40 odd years ago. I had children very young. And, through that experience, in fact, everything happens for a purpose, right?
Yes.
It was, even though we had two daughters and lasted like for, I guess, 5 years, no, maybe more, 6 years. He was the person that put me on the trajectory of organic food, growing food and health and all of that, and opened my eyes. And, we lived in Balmain and we had a little garden out the back up on the hill. And it was quite alternative back there in Balmain. Back then it was 1980s, 79, 80. And there was a little clinic where all they did was dispense herbs and tinctures and things like that. And that got me curious. And they used to run little courses. So I was 18 at this point, and I was going there doing little courses like iridology, things that would, like, my mum would have thought it was witchcraft. Yeah. I guess constrained, or one sort of narrow-minded way. And meat and three veg was dinner type of thing. So I never really explored. So when I left home at 17, I got to explore all this. My first job was with an acupuncture. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. I was just led to these things and places. So coming from quite a conventional way of being to stepping into that, I think that was like opened my eyes to what was actually available out there. And when I had my children, we worked with homeopaths and naturopaths rather than the conventional way. It just felt really natural for me. And I guess we could go deep here. We could go really deep because I don't know where it came from, but it's come through from somewhere that deep within me, that was the way. And so, yeah, it's been an interesting journey. And, I'm very grateful for all of my relationships, because then I married and had 2 sons, and that didn't last very long. However, a lot of learning in that, a lot of teaching in that. He was also on the alternative path and healing path, and we did meditation together. We used to go and do weekend courses together. So it was like I was attracting these people for the purpose of that, for that time. And then, moving on to where I am today is, just growing and evolving in all of these experiences. So very passionate, as you can see, I'm very passionate about a lot of things. I mean, that is I guess that's the way I live my life now, is through my passions and how I want to be, what I want to give, what I want to do in the world. And it's a simple life. We're in the country. We're surrounded by fruit trees and mangoes and macadamias and avocados and bananas. We have so many bananas, as you can see, coming out of everywhere from around
natural bananas.
Natural bananas ripening
yeah.
in the background there.
Yeah.
Bowls full of passion fruit, and this turn, like when he brings me home things like that from the gardens, because my partner's a permaculturist and
Yes.
in a lot of gardens and in the area, and he brings me, that's to me like, oh my God, it's the best gift you can give me, organic food. You can't
Yes.
get better than that, right?
No, I know, and it shows. It
Yeah.
shows on you.
Yeah.
You're vibrant and you're healthy and you radiate.
Yeah.
You radiate vibrancy and
Thank
energy and stuff. So, and wow, and thank you for sharing that. I do have something that I'd love to go into
you.
with what you shared, but I just want to acknowledge what you just said about organic food, especially bananas. I mean, I just read a little while ago, last week, that they're now bringing out bananas that have been genetically modified. So, organic bananas. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And I also want to acknowledge you for two things, what you said, Jo. One is, I know that you live a busy life, like you're a tribe host, you're a business person, you're an entrepreneur, working on your business, and you're also a coach, you're helping other people. But you still take time out for you and your family, for what's important for you. And I really just want to take a moment just to really acknowledge you for doing that, for valuing yourself, because it is an inspiration. We live in a crazy world where I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. I hear it every day. I don't have time, I don't have time. I don't have time to look after me, where you do. And that is an inspiration. So thank you for doing that. I just really want to acknowledge that.
It's such an important piece that you're raising there, because like it's if if you have time for what's important, and
Yes.
and for me it's important to take care of myself so I can actually do all these things. Like you've only mentioned a couple, but there's like for me, it's almost like I have four businesses as well as family, but I can do it because I have, as you say, the energy and the will. I want to. I love it, and
I'm passionate about it.
community is part of that as well. Giving back to community. We're working on a community farm, and I'm on the committee for that. And we're trying to get things sorted. And this weekend we're out there planting more trees and getting the syntropic garden going. So there's always time for the things that are important, but you have to make time for yourself so that you can actually do those important things. Does that make sense?
Totally.
But yeah, so it's me time is one of the, finding you time is one of my signature programs for as a group program for women, that find that they have this, they don't have time. And majority of that program is around boundaries, self-care, community, and putting a plan together for how they can fit all this in. Nutrition is number one, right? If I've always blessed my first, when I was a single mum, was looking for something I could do from home, and I've landed this position at home where I could work in the health and nutrition industry. I was like, whoa, like all these things that I attracted that were like right up my alley. It was like what I was about. And I learned so much in that position, and helping people with their health and well-being, and the foundation I've always said is has to start from nourishing yourself first, like a tree, like a root, like a seed that you plant in the ground. You've got to give it the right nutrients for it to thrive. You are that tree, so that you can have all these branches and you can do all these things, and that is number one. If nothing else, make sure you're taking care of your body, your vessel. It's the only one you've got for this particular time on the planet. And we want to have the longevity, the energy, and the vibrancy to be able to do all the things that we're passionate about.
Totally. And that's and you are the walking, the living example of that.
Well, thank you.
Taking time for you and having that good nutrition, because that's what gives us the energy to follow, to live what we're passionate about, to do what we're passionate about. So it's just like that. And I'd also like to acknowledge what you said, about your grandson, how you don't eat meat because you love cows, but yet your grandson is a carnivore. But then having that loving, relationship where you're not pushing your values on him, but just accepting. And that again it's a wonderful role model, again, inspirational, because we live in a world so much that in general, this is a generalization, not all families, obviously, but a lot of people, push their values on children and grandchildren and stuff, and that affects us for our whole life, or affects them. So
Yeah.
thank you for being a wonderful person.
Yeah, that's so true, we live in such a judgmental world, and how things should be and what people should do and what blah 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 blah. It's not about the shoulds, it's about the coulds, and letting people learn their own way and experience what they need to experience to come to their own conclusions about what they want is so important. You hit something, yeah, that's so important, Sophia, to let people, without judgment. It's choice.
Yes.
Everything is choice, isn't it?
Yes.
And
And even
yep.
young people have the right to have their choice,
Yes.
to live what they want to do, to live how they want to,
Yes.
and stuff. So thank you for that. And now, can I ask you also, I mean, you've shared with what you're passionate about and your life, a little bit growing up and where you live and all the organic stuff and getting to the beach and everything else. How did you transition from your life into helping others, to being a coach, to especially helping women to empower themselves? And tell us a little bit about your business.
It's interesting because I was working in, as I said, the health and nutrition area, and
Yes.
weight loss in particular. And what I would see over time is these patterns of behaviors. People would, reach their goals and conquer what they wanted to do, and then suddenly they would slide back down to where they started. And I was like, but how does that happen? Like, what's going on, like, for these people? So that's when I got really curious, and I did some research on the mind and how it actually works and how it actually controls everything, basically. And I've stumbled across NLP and hypnosis, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I went and studied and became a practitioner and of both. And I started implementing those tools with my clients and changing their beliefs, changing their behaviors and their old programming that they've been carrying for so long, that had them not believing that in themselves, and sabotaging their results because they didn't have that self-confidence, and they weren't changing the inner workings. The mind was still playing the part of the person that they were before they'd lose the weight, or before they reach their goal of whatever it was, amount of money per month. And so we had to go in and just rewire those old patterns of beliefs and programming that was causing them to spiral back, that was causing the sabotage. And then I was like so excited about that. I decided, okay, I was so passionate about the way that the mind worked, that I wanted to expand it, not just for health and weight loss, but for everything. And people being able to, reach their goals in any area of their life, whether it be health, wealth, career, business, spirituality even, right? Where do they want to go there? And expand my services, and that's how I fell into being an empowerment coach, so to speak. So, but then I drilled down and could see, all the emotional baggage people would carry, and we could go on a whole trip about that, because it's not just in our lifetime, all the stuff that we've carried through ancestral from our parents and the grandparents and the lineage that, that we carried as our own, that was seriously not. Most of it wasn't. It was just how we'd been programmed, or it'd been modeled all the way through. So we are bringing that in. So this is the beautiful piece about when you talk about children, like we can start back there to not put our beliefs and our programming onto, and our, opinions onto what they should or shouldn't do, and allow them to just be modeled differently. And I feel like I did that in a sense when I had children, because I remember distinctly choosing to do it differently. Like I said, we weren't the three meat and three veg type of family. We were exploring nutrition and health and growing food and all the things that I didn't. But I feel like I sort of did there, but I know I still had a lot of my mum's stuff coming through, even as a parent, and how they parented. I was parenting, and it wasn't until way into parenting that I realized that through my journey that I needed to change that as well. Right? Might have been too late, but hey, children, sorry about that. If you're listening right now, I'm really sorry, but this is how it works. So we're taking on that, we're bringing it in, and it's just, it just goes on and on and on. So somebody has to break the cycle.
Yes.
And this is where the buck stops, because we need to be aware of those patterns. We need to of how we're parenting, how we're, being a friend even, there's so many, it's so deep and ingrained that there's so many areas.
There is, and and you've said then, and at least you're aware, and you've acknowledged that you're bringing, or that you were bringing stuff in from your childhood and your parents into when you were a parent. But see, now we're talking about breaking the cycle, but you have that opportunity and that awareness with your grandchildren.
Yes, and that's the beautiful part, isn't it?
Yes.
Beautiful part. I have 3 grandchildren. I don't see the 2 girls as much. They're on the Gold Coast. But we talk on the phone, and oh my goodness, on video, they're hilarious. But it's so much fun, and where's the fun in life anymore? There's so much doom and gloom out there. We have to make our own internal, fun for external joy. It's like, let's lighten up a bit. There's not much we can do about that, but we can change our own selves and our perception of how we want to show up in the world. But yeah, that's another story.
That's another story for another time, which I'd love to have. And stuff, because what you're doing and giving is, you're being an example for another generation. Stuff, and not only you're being an example, a wonderful example, and I'm sure all the people that you work with, it's also affecting their families as well.
Yes.
So it's just, they say it's just a ripple, just one by one, and then that ripples out. And we're helping create a much more aware world.
Yeah.
through that. So I just want to really, really thank you and honor you. And we do have to have more conversations. And what I'd like to do is just let us know, and we will be putting all your links for everyone who is watching. So what do you actually offer? Tell us a little bit about your actual business.
I offer a one-on-one to women.
Yes,
I do have a couple of men, by the way, that I'm very selective there.
yes,
Spiritually minded, aligned souls that want to work with me and grow, evolve, and we work over 12 weeks together. So yeah, it is a lifelong journey. I still do the work every single day. It's not like once you're there, you're there. It's stuff you need to carry through every single day of your life and do the work or the practices, but also, find what's blocking and stopping you and continue moving forward. So it's not like a, one-stop shop fix. We all have to be. I have some clients that work with me for 12 months or more, because they know there's always more to do. So I have that program, Empower You, and I also have the group program, which I mentioned, which is what did I say? Finding You Time.
finding you. Yes,
Mental blank. Finding You Time, which is a small group. I keep it really tight because it's really nice for everybody to have their voice in that. And that's an 8-week program where we have a different topic each week, and we have workbooks and all the stuff. And I support you in that. With all my work, I use frequency healing as well as nutrition and all different modalities that I've learned over the years. So it sort of is not telling you what to do, what you feel aligned to connect with. And so you'll have a choice of tools. You get access to all my tools. And what else do I do? And I offer the 30-minute frequency experience, which is really beautiful. So whether you want to have move through or shift through something that you're going through and emotion or a problem, I can do a session around that, or a chakra balance. That's really nice too, just balancing the energies. Frequencies are amazing, and I know
they
you
are.
do that
They
for.
are. They are incredible, and
Yeah.
I do. Yes, I've experienced them, and they're so so healing and so cleansing.
Yes, yes. And you also, you have experienced it, but you
Yes,
also, even the sound healing frequencies is so powerful. Just
yes,
any frequencies, but this is really specific, and I've had some major shifts. And it also, what it does, it's supporting the work that we do together. So you get all of me, you get access to me 24/7 without picking up the phone. I have a system where my clients can connect with me whenever they feel they need to celebrate. It's more celebration, I must say,
yes,
than anything else. So
absolutely.
yeah, and I work at the Sacred Dew group. I have a tribe there on a Wednesday, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, where we do have a lovely group of ladies that we all have work and have a topic and share and learn and grow together each week, which is beautiful as well. So that's where you can come and join the Sacred Dew community.
Absolutely.
And have access to that for pretty much peanuts, right?
Mm,
Really,
yes,
when you think
yes.
about it, what you offer is incredible with all the
Thank
tribes.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And of course, yes, the peanuts is just one US dollar to try out Joe's tribe for 2 weeks, and all of our other tribes. We do have, about 20 other tribes. And then after that, it's only 30 US dollars a month, or even cheaper if you go yearly.
Mm.
And just very, very quickly, Joe, before we finish, okay, so just tell us very quickly about your actual tribe and what are the benefits from people coming to join it?
So many benefits. It's a sacred space, to be honest. Like Sacred Dew, sacred space where you can just show up as you are. Sometimes people are in bed, in their PJs. It doesn't matter. A non-judgmental, safe, sacred space where we generally talk about a topic, but often it will turn into something more like they just evolve. The conversations evolve, but there's lots of healing that happens with being able to communicate, being able to speak your truth and have a voice. And this is what the space is about. So we do cover like lots of things around emotional healing and all the things that women actually go through. We look at things like ancestral, things we bring through from the ancestral line and how we can make those shifts. We do a lot of deep diving into our selves as we essentially are, as our soul self, and operating from that person rather than all the parts of us. We do lots of parts work, like parts of us that are running the show, the ego and all of the things, and we come back to ourselves and our own truth, and we tap into that, and we learn to navigate from that place. We learn to show up from that place. So lots of healing happens in that place, even if it doesn't feel like it. I think the after effects of these deep conversations really do land and transform, so that you can live an empowered life. You can remember, oh, that's what I have to do. They'll show up when you need to. These things, tools will show up for you as well. So there's so many things. So many
things. And I said, and I really, really value you and really just want to thank you so much for everything that you brought and are bringing to the Sacred You community. And getting to know you more, but your lifestyle, how you have so much, but you still take time out to help the women and a few men of the world, both through Sacred You and all over the world. So really, really thank you, Jo. Seriously, seriously, thank you.
You're so welcome. I love what I do. I truly do.
Yeah, and it shows. It really, really shows. You radiate vibrancy, even though we're on technology. You can feel your energy no matter where you are in the world. So thank you. And I really look forward to getting to know more about you and to going even a little deeper and, going into different things. So really, it has been an honor to be able to just listen. And I said I've had so many questions, but those questions can wait for next time. And stuff, because I just want to get to know more about our beautiful host, Jo Anne Irwin.
Thank you. Yeah, we are all energy, so we feel everything.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you ever so much.
So welcome.
And we will talk to you very, very soon.